Hello and welcome to the Tau October update. And this one's from the dev team. So I'm going to pass it over to Karim for his overview for the month. Cheers.
Thank you, Fola, and welcome everyone to the October update for the Tau development team. Andrei continued his work on the integration of Tau and ChatGPT. It seems like this work has garnering a lot of attention as we judged by the list of Q&A sessions or questions on the Q&A session. And so I will let him answer all of those questions in his update. Tomáš continued his work on testing the documentation and documenting the Tau parser library. He's improved the testing framework and created options to allow for selective running of test and debug levels. He also fixed several bugs that had to do with conjunction, negation, end of files, and as well as string escape sequences. He also developed very new tool and very useful new tool for using the Tau grammar format that allows us to generate parsers directly from or handle Tau strings directly from the command line. It's extremely useful without invoking the C++ compiler. This tool replaces the old parsegen tool. David continued his main work on the Tau core engine. He added several logical operators to the Tau language, such as implications and equivalence. He created a new domain-specific language for creating expressions according to the Tau grammar, and another domain-specific language to easily define the normalizer workflow. So as we can see there, we're using our own tools. And under direction from Ohad, he has tweaked the set of rules for the normalizer. And he's also made some changes to the Tau grammar itself and added new callbacks, builders, and libraries, and added tests for all of the above. Umar, on his side, continued his work on parsers. He implemented optimizations that increased the parse speed by 10x. Unfortunately, that caused a few bugs that were caught by Tomáš, but he did manage to fix those bugs and claw back some of those optimization speeds. So that's the update for October. I'll leave it to the individual teams to give you guys more details, and back to you, Fola.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Karim. I'll pass it over to Umar to talk about that performance increase and what he's been up to for the month.
Hi team. So over the October month, there were some initial optimizations that were implemented in order to speed up the parsing. It turned out that those optimizations had an issue and they were failing on some of the test cases, and also they were taking longer time on a few of the cases reported by the peer developer. So I think this amount of time was spent on investigating and debugging that. Then some of those optimizations were reverted, and the bugs were fixed. New changes were made in the master branch. That was shared to the team, and the team was able to check and verify that there were no more performance issues with the latest master release after the check-in. So most of the work was centered around that. Also, there was some amount of planning on what should be the next features or changes in terms of optimization, garbage collection that should be done, and how should we prioritize them. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Umar. I'll pass it over to Andrei for his update for the month. Cheers.
Greetings to our esteemed community. I hope you're all thriving and in good health. As our team approaching a significant milestone, enhancing Tau software reasoning capabilities, and soon you'll be able to engage with Tau, inquire about its software, and receive detailed, accurate answers. So a key part of my work involves making Tau benefits widely accessible, eliminating barriers so that its advantages can be experienced by everyone. To achieve this, I'm utilizing the potent capabilities of large language models to create an intuitive interface for Tau interactions. This initiative marks our exploration into the possibility of making the Tau language more accessible to a broader audience aiming for simplicity and user-friendliness. In support of this, I've been deeply involved with the ChatGPT API, testing various user communication methods to ensure they're effectively processed by Tau. My aim is to highlight the essential feature that Tau early release will encompass. Your feedback is invaluable to us. Thank you for your unwavering support and enthusiasm. See you next month.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Andrei. And I will pass it over to David for his update for the month.
Thank you, Fola. Hi, everyone. As Karim said, this month I've been working in adding builders, a builders API and the corresponding test to the Tau language. The main purpose is to create expressions of the Tau language according to the given grammar. They are used right now during the fixed point operations of the normalizer, but in the future they will be used in other parts of the code. So to have a proper API to build expressions was a worthy effort. I have been also creating a new DSL for easily defining the workflow of the normalizer. That means which rules should be used, should be executed first, which ones should be executed later, if we should repeat the execution of certain rules several times, and so on. I've been also cleaning the source code, removing dead code, abstracting methods, and so on. I also have been tweaking the rules that we have for the normalizer, and I have made several changes into the Tau grammar in order to have new callbacks, the builder support, and libraries, and so on. I have been adding tests for some uncovered parts of the source code. And also I've been improving the type resolution system, the bindings mechanism, and also the related tests. Regarding the callbacks, I have implemented several new ones that were needed to speed up the computations, and also I have added the possibility that we have types in the arguments of the callbacks. That simplifies the overall rules that we have to manage in the rewriting system used in the Tau language. As Karim also said, I have added several logical operators into the system, which mostly are defined using the rewriting rules that we have, using rewriting rules in the Tau language. So, taking into account all that, I'm wrapping up the source code for the normalizer, which is the main part of the Tau core language. Regarding the correctness of the normalizer, we have something like 500,000 tests checking the different parts of the code, and the ratio test between test code and source code is about 2, which is a nice value, taking into account that the source code follows a functional approach. That means that everything is the composition of smaller pieces, and we mostly test the smaller pieces, and then we check the integration of all of them. The tests follow the layered architecture we have in the normalizer code. That means that the more concrete we have the code, for example, in the rewriting system, the more unit text we have, the more abstract is the code. For example, in the normalizer part, the more integration tests we have, the less unit tests we deal with. Obviously, there could be still errors, but I think that the normalizer is more or less in a functional state. I've been writing several integration tests with trying to test different formulas with the normalizer, and it seems that everything is working fine. So I think that it's time to move on into the next phases of the implementation of the Tau language. We have added 2 more phases, one for satisfiability and the other one which is for computing the outputs from the inputs. But we think that both of them are more easy to deal with than the normalizer, which was the most difficult part of the implementation of the Tau language. So I think more or less that was my month. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much, David. Thank you so much. I'll now pass it over to Tomáš for his update this month.
Thank you, Fola. Hello, everyone. So this month, I spent most of the time on testing of the parser library. I've worked with Umar on retesting his changes regarding optimizations. I've improved our parser testing program, so it has more command line options. Now it's easy to control verbosity of the testing output, and it also allows to whitelist and blacklist tests or groups of tests, so we can rerun only tests that we are interested in. I've enhanced the command line tool parsergen. Now the tool, I call it TGF, since it is more generic tool to work with the Tau grammar form files. It does not only generate the parser C++ code, but it can also be used to test any part of a provided grammar in TGF without using any C++ or recompilation. And this tool and most of the changes I've spoken last month about are published in the Devil branch on our GitHub repository, including several fixes, documentation, and the CSV parser tutorial. And I've also worked on grammar for JSON format, so we will have one more example grammar. And yeah, currently I'm working on addressing issue with negation for literals which are longer than 1 terminal. That's all from me this month.
Fantastic, Tomáš. Amazing stuff. Really cool. And yeah, looking forward to being able to share that more publicly, not just with our community, but also just with the general software development community as well. And I'll pass it over to Ohad to wrap it up for the month. Cheers.
Yeah, so among all the usual stuff, of course, I continued with the 2 verbal fragment with Professor Paris, and he had some progress, some nice understanding, and that covers almost all cases with a clue of how to handle the rest of the cases. So we really made a nice progress there, and we even started to write some code. And also with Professor Fanconi, we were working on very necessary enhancements of the Tau language in terms of how users can revise knowledge that they put and change it, and how users can give commands to the network in form of robot that you give it knowledge and commands. And in those 2 points, we did find how to support such an enhancement of the Tau language to support those, and that's a very nice progress. And that's all.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Ohad. And that wraps up the end of the development team call, and we'll see you in the November update. Cheers.